City of Crescent City. Let's go ahead and call to order this meeting, and we'll do a roll call, please.
Councilmember Hawley,
I'm here.
Councilmember Inscore,
Here.
Pro Tem Mania,
Here.
Mayor Gassner.
And I'm here. And Mr. Hawley will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, we just came out of closed session. Is there anything to report, Council Rice, out of closed session?
Nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Okay, so next on our agenda is acknowledgements. Apparently somebody retired this last year, somebody very important to the city. We're going to acknowledge Linus Story, who retired after 20 years of service for Crescent City, and I have a proclamation here to read. A certificate of appreciation. City of Crescent City. Whereas Linus Story has served our community well for over 22 years as a public works employee with the City of Crescent City and is now retired effective December 29, 2014. And whereas Linus earned the affection of his co-workers as his dedication to the best interests of our community has won the highest regard of all his associates. And whereas he was known as the city's jack of all trades, for he gave generously of his time and effort to upkeep of the city's unique infrastructure needs. And whereas his skill and knowledge base encompassed wastewater, sewage collection, water facilities, street lighting, pool, and numerous other nuances of the position. And whereas his innovation was highly regarded as a true asset and certainly saved the city and community untold costs due to his irreplaceable ability for creative solutions. And whereas he will be deeply missed as a valued friend and employee. Now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, and on behalf of the City Council of the City of Crescent City, I do hereby tender this certificate of appreciation to Linus Story, commending him for his many contributions to the progress of this community and for appreciation of his many years of dedicated service, and do hereby extend to him our wishes for many years of happy and healthy retirement. Adopted unanimously by the City Council of the City of Crescent City on January 20th, 2015. Mr. Story, would you like to come up and say something? Oh, no, you just come up. Here you go for this, and thank you for your many years.
Thank you.
of service.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate Eric, all the stuff that he's did for me too.
Linus, this is a bittersweet moment for the Crescent City Public Works Department. You know, it's only bitter because of everything that you brought to the city over the past 22 years. So we have this wonderful picture and this plaque to give to you, but first, I'd like to say a few words, and I'll actually have Tom Romsberg, he's the city's utility manager. I'd like him to come up. He has a unique perspective on Linus, as Tom has worked many years outside of the city of Crescent City in private enterprise in the power industry. So first, I'll have Tom say a few words, and I'll come back.
Well, I think what I heard before really kind of covered Linus pretty well, but I can tell you after all these years, when I came up here, Linus is what you look for. He's a rare bird. You don't find guys like him very often. And I mean, one hand he troubleshoot, he was innovative, everything he did, and just the amount of value you got out as a community is just, it's unmeasurable. And all I want to say else to Linus is it was an honor to work with you. It was a pleasure to work with you. You've earned it. You've given way, way more. You've given a lot. So thank you, Linus.
So Linus, for me, you know, it's meant a lot to work with you for the last for my entire career with the city. because it was so often in our field, it just goes unnoticed. You know, people, when they turn on their water in the morning, they just take it for granted. The water comes on, they go about their day. When they flush their toilet and, you know, it goes away, they just expect that. But what they don't realize is they don't realize what's happened in the middle of the night. And in the middle of the night for us, it's been Linus that's gotten the call. It's been Linus that wakes up at midnight to go out and solve the chlorine problem that we have, or that the rainy pumps didn't come on, or the fact that the sewer lift station had an alarm. It's Linus that went out and solved those problems. And so for 22 years, he's been the person. He's also been the person, you know, 8 to 5 that we've looked to solve our problems, to talk about projects. What do we do in the future? And he would come up with the ideas. He's installed virtual variable frequency drives at the Rainy Collector. He's worked on the elevated tank. He's worked on multiple projects such as the Headwork Screen project at the treatment plant. And just day in, day out, he's been there for this community. But it's not only Linus that I'd like to thank, it's his whole entire family, because they also sacrificed when he was gone on the weekends, when he was gone in the middle of the night solving those city problems. They would have loved to have been here tonight, but they're doing what Linus is retiring for. She's taking care of the grandkids tonight. And so that's what Linus is retiring for. So like Tom, Linus, I'd just like to express my sincere appreciation and my just fact that it's been a pleasure to work with you over the last 22 years you've been with the city, and my 11. So thank you, Linus.
Thank you. That was one of the hardest things to do, is retire. I enjoy my job and working with Eric and everything else. It's real hard. The hardest thing I ever did. But I have to retire. You just got to do it. But anyway, I appreciate Eric. He did a lot for me, and Tom, and all my excuse me, all my coworkers. They've helped me a lot. So I appreciate everything they've did, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, now, Linus, you can come back as a consultant and charge whatever you need, so. That's what, you retire and come back as a consultant. Thank you, guys, it was awesome. Okay, next on our acknowledgements, we're going to recognize employees' longevity with the city. And I have a list here, and I understand that there are some employees here that are on this list, and people want to talk about them. So I'm going to go through the list first, and then I'll give you a chance to come up and talk about the employees. And if the employees would like to come up and say a few words, that'd be awesome too. So the employees that we have Kim Smith from Public Works Maintenance Worker 2. She's been here for 10 years. Mark Orblo, Public Works Mechanic 2, 10 years. Del Rosa, Public Works Meter Reader, 15 years. Fernando Pereira, Public Works Maintenance Worker, 20 years. Deborah Wright, Finance County Clerk, 25 years. Congratulations. And thank you for making what the city is today. I heard that you guys, during a bowling outing, which unfortunately I had to miss because I had class, the certificates were given out to these employees, but they still want, some of their department heads want to recognize them. Ms. Boyd.
Come on up. So, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to say a few words in appreciation of Deborah. Her years with the city, she has developed vast institutional knowledge. Whenever I want to know why do we do something a particular way, she can explain it to me, the history of it, and how various processes have developed. That's extremely valuable to me. She is unrelentingly pleasant, and that's really hard to do. When you have a job where you meet with the public and you frequently have customers who are unhappy, it is very difficult to always be pleasant, and I really value and appreciate that about you. You know, we get a lot of unhappy customers down there. You know, they've got their water shut off, they're unhappy. If they don't want to pay their deposit, they're unhappy. If they don't like our policy or our terms, they're unhappy, and Deborah greets them in a pleasant and calm way all the time. In other cities where I've been, I've often gotten complaints about the utility billing staff and the way they treat customers. Here, I don't get complaints about our staff at all. I get complaints that the water rates are too high, but I don't ever get them saying to me that the staff treated them poorly, and that is invaluable. Additionally, she passes on this way of behaving, this customer service practice. She passes that along to the people that she has trained, and that is very much appreciated, and I would just want you to know how much I appreciate you and how much the city appreciates everything you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Aw, that deserves a hug.
Aw.
Well, I don't really have a whole lot to say. Obviously, I've been here a long, long time, and for the first time in many years, I'm very thankful to have a supervisor that does such a good job and takes such an interest in the employees and the department. So that's been a blessing since Carol left. It's been a rocky road. We've been through lots of city managers and lots of finance directors, and so I've just been thankful to have a good job and good staff to work with, and
We finally got it right, huh?
yeah, I
Took a
think it's
while.
finally right. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Deb. Okay, that ends our, oh, wait. Eric's coming up. Got some more.
So yes, unfortunately, the Public Works employees that are being recognized tonight could not make it this evening. But nonetheless, it's still a true asset for the city to have these employees, and in particular, the longevity that we're able to see here with our city employees. You know, to have a Public Works employee that's been here 10 years, that's 10 years of knowledge of the, you know, unique water system that only we have, and the unique sewer system, and just that in the field experience is vital when we have the emergencies that we have. We're recognizing Fernando Pareto for 20 years, 2 decades of service to the city and the facilities. You know, Del Rosa out in the field 15 years, and Kim Smith as well for 10. It's really remarkable. Same with Mark Warblow, 10 years. So, you know, as he started in the parks, now he's a mechanic, and so I'd just like to thank them for their service and longevity with the city.
Thank you. We appreciate every one of them. Okay, anybody else want to talk about our incredible employees we have in our city that keep us going year in and year out? No? All right. So we're going to go on to our consent calendar. And on the consent calendar is the approval of the regular meeting minutes for the December 15th, 2014 council meeting. Receive and file a warrant claims list for the periods December 4th, 2014 through December 19th, 2014, and December 20th, 2014 through January 9th, 2015. Receive and file the biweekly payroll report for the periods ending December 13th, 2014, paid on December 19th, 2014, ending December 27th, 2014, paid on January 2nd, 2015, and ending on January 10th, 2015, paid on January 16th, 2015. Also receive and file monthly budget to actual financial report for the city's major operating funds for the month of December 2014. Also consider authorizing the city manager to sign an agreement with Eureka Floor Carpet One to repair the cultural center floor in the not-to-exceed amount of $40,000, and authorize the city manager to execute contract change orders up to $5,000. Consider an approved lease agreement for 235 H Street between the city of Crescent City and the Crescent City Housing Authority, and authorize the city manager to sign and take action as necessary. And we still have more. Consider and approve resolution number 2015-01, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Crescent City confirming the mayor's appointment of members to the Oversight Board of the successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency of the City of Crescent City. And lastly, appoint Mike Muldoon of the City of Crescent City Planning Commission to fill the term of Blake Inscourt, and appoint Justin Williams to fulfill the term of Dana Reno. Is there any public comment on anything on the consent calendar? All 10 items. Seeing none, I'll close public comment, and we have council.
I move to approve consent calendar items number 3 through 10.
Second.
Second.
Just some discussion. I'd like to say that there's 2 items actually. One was, I thought the conversation about the floor repair in the cultural center was really interesting. And for those that didn't read the internal documentation that we had, and a worker was contacted that actually installed the original floor in 1970s, and he's now owns, I guess, the Eureka floor, Carpet One, and he had the original records from the Cultural Center job. I just thought that was amazing. So thank you for your sleuthing to get that done. The other thing is I was hoping to get about a half-hour speech from Mr. Muldoon. Did you want to give a half-hour speech or so? Great, thank you for being here, and thank you.
Oh, you'll get your chance.
How about Mr. Williams? Would you like to say anything?
Oh, he'll get his chance
Okay.
also. That's next on the agenda.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have any other discussion from the council? Okay, we have a motion. Can we please pull the vote? Or we have?
Councilmember Holly?
Yes.
Councilmember Inscore?
Yes.
Pro Tem Mania?
Yes.
Mayor Gastineau?
Yes. All right. Adopted 4-0. Now we have reports and presentations. It looks like we get to introduce our new planning commissioners. Would that be you, Mr. Taylor? Or would it be Mr. Palazzo? All right, Mr. Taylor.
Maybe the chairman of the planning commission should have to do it.
You know, that's not a bad idea. We can get him up here too. So as you know, we lost a couple folks off the planning commission. Lost one to the council, and another gentleman took a job out of town, moved out of the area. We were fortunate, kind of unusual situation. We had over 5 candidates this last time around, so we had conducted a series of interviews, and I think we've made 2 wise choices. I think they'll serve this community very well. One being Mr. Mike Muldoon, who was a history teacher here for many, many years, has been a resident, I believe, since 1970, is that correct? And Justin Williams, who's been, I believe, a resident for about 15 years now, and works out at Pelican Bay. And so if they'd like to come up and just introduce themselves, that'd be great. That's up to them, I guess. Thank you.
Well, this is your one chance. Get in front of the big stage.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being appointed.
All right. Don't sweat it. I did the same thing when I was getting appointed to the planning commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you
I'll
for-
stay back
thank you.
here.
Thank
Thank
you-
you for
thank
your
you-
service,
yes,
though.
thank you for serving.
Yes. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. All right. So next on our agenda, we have the public comment period. Any member of the audience is invited to address the city council on any matter that is within the jurisdiction of the city of Crescent City. Comments of public interest or on matters appearing on the agenda are accepted. Note, however, that the council is not able to undertake extended discussion or act on non-agendized items. Such items can be referred to staff for appropriate action, which may include placement on a future agenda. Any comments that are not at the microphone are out of order and will not be part of the public record. After receiving recognition from the mayor, myself, please state your name and city or county residency for the record. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes. Is there any public comment? This is your second chance to come up and say something. No? Seeing no public comment, I will close public comment and we will go on to our next item on the agenda, which will adjourn to the Housing Authority. And we'll call to order the Housing Authority of Crescent City. Please take roll.
Chairperson Board Member Holly?
Thank you, here.
Board Member Inscore?
Here.
Vice Chair Ania?
Here.
Chair Gastineau?
Here. All right. Public comment period, same as anything else. Anybody has anything to say about the Housing Authority? It's 3 minutes. And do I see any public comment? I do not see, so I close public comment. We have the consent calendar for the Housing Authority. We have the approval of the regular meeting minutes from December 15th, 2014. We have also the approval of the warrant claims from the periods December 4th, 2014 through December 19th, 2014, and December 20th, 2014 through January 9th, 2015. And then we'll consider and approve lease agreement for 235 8th Street between the City of Crescent City and the Crescent City Housing Authority, and authorize the Executive Director to sign and take action as necessary. Do I have any public comment on the consent calendar? Seeing no public comment on consent calendar, consent calendar. Anybody on the chair, on the commission? Anything? Nope. All right. Do I have a motion?
I move for the consent calendar.
Second.
All right. Can we please poll the vote?
Board Member Holly?
Yes.
Board Member Inscore?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ania?
Yes.
Chair Gassno?
Yes. All right. Going on, we don't have a housing director's report, no public hearings, no continuing business, but we do have new business. We have a revision of administrative policy. Megan.
Hi, good evening. We have some proposed revisions to our admin plan on the agenda tonight. The admin plan, just to give a little bit of background, is basically the guide that the Housing Authority uses to define how it's going to administer its program. The rules and the regulations are the same. They're set by HUD. We don't have discretion over those items. But the policies and procedures that the Housing Authority uses to implement those rules and regulations, we do have discretion over. So that's how you tailor your program to meet the needs of your specific community. The rules and regulations are the same for each housing authority, but the policies and procedures differ from agency to agency. So we did an extensive overhaul of our admin plan in 2012. We spent probably 6 to 8 months really analyzing and evaluating our policies and procedures, and we have a good handle on that. We're current on that end of it. The non-discretionary items that have changed since that time, statutes, regulations, updates that we don't have control over, that's what we are trying to capture at this time. So they're not things that we have any control over, but it's important to review your plan every year or two to make sure that it includes the most current updated regulations and statutes.
Any questions? Any public comment? See no public comment? What are our actions on this?
To review and approve it.
All right. Do I have any motions?
I move that we approve the revised City of Crescent City Housing Authority Administrative Plan.
Second.
All right. Please pull the vote.
Board Member Holly?
Yes.
Board Member Inscore?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ania?
Yes.
Chair Gassno?
Yes. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no further business on the agenda, we'll adjourn to our next regular scheduled Housing Authority meeting on February 17th, 2015. And we will now go and adjourn to the successor agency to the redevelopment agency. Well, I guess we can dispense with roll call. We're here, called order. Anybody would like to make any public comment on the successor agency to the redevelopment agency? Seeing no public comment, close public comment. We have a consent calendar. Excuse me. We have the approval of the regular meeting minutes from December 15th, 2014, and the approval of the warrant claims from the periods December 4th, 2014 through December 19th, 2014, and December 20th, 2014 through January 9th, 2015. Is there any discussion? Is anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve consent calendar.
I'll second that motion.
All right, could you please pull the vote?
Board Member Holly?
Yes.
Board Member Inscore?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ania?
Yes.
Chair Gassno?
Yes. All right, we do not have an executive director's report, no public hearings, but we do have continuing business, which is on number 3, is discussion and direction on the disposition of real property owned by the former redevelopment agency in accordance with the approved long-range property management plan, APN 118-070-14 and APN 118-070-08. Take action as necessary and appropriate. Mr. Palazzo.
Thank you. Gene Palazzo, City Manager. As part of the wind-down process of our redevelopment agency, we had 5 properties that we had to prepare a property management plan and kind of decide, which direction these properties go. 3 of the properties were used as public facilities. State law allowed us to just transfer those properties back to the city for its use. That process is in the process. We need to record, the quitclaim deeds on that, but that should be done here within the next 2 weeks. The next step is address the 2 vacant lots in our property management plan as reviewed by this board, by the oversight board, and by the Department of Finance. We're to put those properties up for sale and start the disposition of those properties. First step in that is we went out to a real estate broker to get an opinion of value for these 2 properties. The properties, one is located along I Street, the old right-of-way, 2nd Street, so kind of right behind the library, right next to the new physical therapy building that's going into business. Its opinion value on that is about $56,000. The other property is right next to the old Keypod building, kind of next to the pedestrian walkway. The opinion value on that property is about $14,400. Due to the small amount of dollars that these properties are worth, and at this time, staff's recommendation to the successor agency is to put these properties up for sale, for sale by owner. They said, let's go out to the community. Let's see if there's anybody that might be interested to pick up these properties for sale. If that doesn't work in about 6 months, then maybe we list it with a real estate agent. In order to list it with a real estate agent, there's a little bit of a process to pick an agent, and then also there's fees involved with the small amount of dollars. I thought it might be just a little bit more prudent to see if there's any interest up front. Your action tonight would have to go to the oversight board. The oversight board, in my understanding, would have that final kind of action and how to proceed. But at this point, the staff does recommend that we just put the properties up for sale by owner. The allocation to the taxing entities is also included in your staff report. They're kind of outline the percentage of who would receive proceeds for these properties. Included in your staff report is also the long-range property management plan, the letters of opinion and value, and the Department of Finance letter. Any questions?
So our action would be just to approve the plan that you have listed here?
Recommend that the oversight board.
Okay. All right. Do we need to take a vote for that? All right. So does anybody want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to the oversight board the disposition of the 2 properties by the owner. If not successful within 6 months, it goes back to the successor agency and the oversight board for further discussion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, please pull the vote.
Board Member Holly?
Yes.
Board Member Inscore?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ania?
Yes.
Chair Gassno?
Yes. Thank you. All right, we do not have any new business, so we will adjourn from the successor agency to our next scheduled meeting, February 17th, 2015, and we will reconvene the City Council. Next on our City Council agenda is public hearings. We do not have any. Continued business is none. New business is none. City Council items. Any legislative matters? No? City Manager's report.
Just a kind of a couple of quick update items and jump in with the Housing Authority. We do have a new employee at the Housing Authority. I don't know if you want to say something about your new employee?
Yes, we do have a new employee. Her name is Sarah Barber, and she's working out great. We're already giving her work, and she's taking it on, and that's a good fit. We're really happy to have her.
Great. Excellent. Awesome.
The other item I had is we had a pool construction project that Public Works and a lot of people involved in getting that project done in a very tight time frame. There's some weather conditions that probably weren't too favorable. Project's done. There's still a few more details that we need to complete with a door assembly on the back of the pool there. Improvements were well received. We had a kind of a ribbon cutting ceremony Saturday, and it was I guess nice to see those improvements completed. We also at that time extended our pass sales, and I'm very pleased to report, last year our pool passes over the kind of the holiday time, we sold $38,000 worth of passes. This year, with an extension of 3 weeks and kind of the promotions, we sold $48,000 in passes, about 1,000 passes to the community. So that's really good news for the pool. And please have everybody come out and enjoy our new roof and amenities.
I wanted to ask a question.
Oh, please do.
Gene, how did the mural come out? Did everything come out okay?
It's completed and came out okay, looked good.
Good.
Yeah, thank you everybody that helped out in completing that project.
Thank you.
Yeah, according to Matt Hildebrandt, the manager at the pool, it no longer rains inside the pool when it rains outside. So it was a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yep. Are there any, are you finished, Mr. Palazzo?
I am.
All right. Any council directives? Nope. Okay, reports, concerns, referrals, council travel and training reports. Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
During the past month, Mr. Hawley and I attended a tri-agency meeting, and we should have another one coming up in the next week or two. I attended the city Christmas party at the bowling alley. It was very nice. Holiday party, I should say. And also, during the past 30 days, I met with Senator McGuire along with Mr. Palazzo, and Mayor Gastineau was there. And we went over what's up for our city. He's very interested in our activities, and he said that he would help us any way he can with our projects we have ongoing and coming up. So that's my report.
Thank you. Mr. Hawley.
Okay, thank you. As Mr. Ania had already mentioned, he and I did attend the tri-agency meeting and the employee recognition Christmas function at the bowling alley. I also was at the Transportation Commission meeting as well on the 6th of January. On the 7th of January, it was my honor to represent the city as the Board of Supervisors recognized the students from Representacata. And I appreciated their being here, and I really thank them for the good relationship we're developing with that city in Japan. Of course, we all know about the tsunami that happened in Japan, and for those who may not know about the students that came, they came as a result of the boat exchange that floated over here after the tsunami. So it was particularly good. We gave the little pins that we all wear on our lapels to the kids. Oh, I'm sorry, Blake was there as well. He'll talk about it too. But it was really fun for us that staff had the foresight to make a street sign. And it's the same as the street signs we have throughout the city. On one side was Crescent City, and I was able to, I kind of wrapped it so and then they unwrapped it and they saw Crescent City, and that was kind of interesting. But then you flipped it over and it was the same motif, but with Representacata on the other side. So they were really pretty thrilled. I don't know how they got it back on the plane, but that was a really nice idea, and thank you very much for setting that up. I also attended a El Tico Local Transportation Commission Finance Committee meeting. I was able to attend my first Visitors Bureau meeting because we didn't have people that could be there that time, and that was interesting.
Thank you.
And yeah, and they're looking forward to your contributions, Blake. And the Solid Waste Management Authority had a meeting as well. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Enscore.
I also attended the Local Transportation Commission meeting on behalf of Councilmember Ania as the alternate, and was with Councilmember Hawley with the Japanese students, and that was really a neat experience. I think maybe one of the highlights as well was that when it came time to give out the pens, and I was, Councilmember Hawley gave that to me. He says, you be responsible for this. So I'm counting students and I'm counting pens, and I'm thinking, I don't think we have enough, which actually in some ways worked out really well, because when it came time to come to the end of the line, to the last student and the principal, Mr. Hawley and I were able to take ours off of our lapels and hand it to them as if it was our personal pen that we were giving to them, and they was like, oh my gosh, you're giving us your pen, which was just like the ones that they had that were in the little bag, but the idea that we took it off, and it actually ended up being kind of a neat gesture, I think. What else have I been to? Well, this last week I was at the League of Cities new Mayors and Council Members Academy, which was 3 days or 2.5 days in Sacramento. Good training, provided some opportunities to network with people in our region. I did get a chance to meet with both Senator McGuire and talk to him for on 2 occasions, and with Assemblyman Jim Wood, and so I invited them to come back to Crescent City soon. Told them that they shouldn't wait too long. If they waited too long, the last chance grade might fall into the ocean, and it would take them a lot longer to get here, which they are well aware of. So I think that brings me up to today. So that's good.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I too met with Senator McGuire on the 19th, and we did take a tour of the pool, which he was very impressed with. And in between the rainstorms, we were able to walk around a little bit on Front Street Park and Beachfront Park, and he was very impressed with what we're doing here in the city, and all the stuff that we have in the pipeline coming up. And he was very congratulatory to us about what we're doing. I had a great vacation. I might have disappeared for a couple weeks, but it was like the first time in a long time that I've had a couple weeks off. And so I also want to thank everybody in the city who welcomed all the kids from Japan. I mean, they felt like they were within their own homes most of the time. And to cover you guys, I did get the extra pins and was able to give them to the adults that came along with them at the potluck that we had to end their stay. So they had a great time. And then I finally pulled my mayor's card and got a picture with them, all of them at Delaware High School. So get a picture with me. So I did that. Yeah, the mayor's card works every once in a while. And then was at a Del Norte Solid Waste Management meeting, and pretty much, and the pool opening, which was great. And some of the statistics that Matt gives us, where there's like maybe 250 people use our pool a day going through there. And it is such an incredible community asset that we have, and for us to continue to spend money and improving it and maintaining it, it is a jewel of our community. And everybody should take it. Are we still doing the 2-for-1, or is that over?
It's got it.
Oh, sorry. Well, if you missed out on the 2-for-1, don't worry, get in there and get your passes to get into the pool, because everything is great. And I learned a lot about the employees, about who was that again? It was Kocher. Kaylee Kocher, who actually used one breath to go down and exchange the light bulbs in the pool because they couldn't drain it. She had to actually go down and change the light bulbs out in one breath every time that she went in there. It was about 16 of them or something like that. So she gets the record for light bulb exchange. And if that was an Olympic event, she'd have a gold medal right now. So.
14 to 15 bulbs. She must have been running out of air.
Oh, that's right. No, she did one each breath. One light. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Councilman Hawley. So, otherwise, it was a great vacation. Everybody was safe. City crews did a great job keeping everybody, all their stuff together. And that's about it. Is there anything else? On that note, we're going to adjourn to our next meeting, which will be on February 2nd. Thank you, and everybody have a good night.